I was just struck by, you have just one master, the Christ. I love that. It reminds me of the scrutinies that we will be starting this weekend. This weekend we will have the first of 3 scrutinies for the elect. In other words, those who are not baptized and who will be fully initiated into the Catholic Church this year at the Easter Vigil. They will receive baptism, communion, and confirmation all at once during that Mass. And the scrutinies occur right after the homily on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Sundays of Lent. So the first one is this weekend. And on the first scrutiny, we have the Gospel of the Samaritan woman at the well with Jesus from the Gospel of John. And so all of the scrutinies are actually from year A, and they all come from the Gospel of John. So it won't be the regular Sunday Gospel, at least at the 5 o'clock Mass. It will be from John. And the emphasis on the first scrutiny is Christ, the Redeemer, who is the living water. Remember, this is the scene with Jesus and the woman at the well. And the key to this is salvation. In one word, the first scrutiny is ultimately about salvation, redemption. The second scrutiny, we have the gospel of Jesus healing the man born blind. The emphasis here is on Jesus, who is the light of the world, who is our light, who gives us vision and understanding and knowledge about many things. In other words, conversion, in one word. And the third scrutiny, we have the gospel where Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead. The emphasis here is on resurrection and life everlasting through Jesus Christ. In other words, new life. New life for us during this life and, of course, in eternity. For we must not forget that the life of the resurrection begins here, today, on this earth. And so our readings and Lenten season invite us to scrutinize our faith once more in terms of salvation, conversion, and new life. In our reading from Isaiah, we hear, "Wash yourselves clean. Put away your misdeeds before my eyes. Cease doing evil and doing good. Come, let us set things right, says the Lord." Isn't that a good line? Let us set things right. That's what Lent's all about, isn't it? Let us set things right between ourselves and the Lord. And in the gospel, Jesus is calling the disciples to scrutinize their faith in terms of filtering out bad examples and always following sound teaching. He says, do not follow the example of the Pharisees, but follow their teaching. So he's respecting their office, right? He's respecting their teaching, but he says, don't follow their example. Follow the teaching, right? He's asking them to scrutinize their faith, filter their faith, not just believe what they see, but be rooted in sound doctrine. Because sometimes we focus on fallible human beings, and it can destroy our faith. So we have to focus on the teaching, not so much on the human being who is fallible and who can make mistakes and who can make us even lose our faith. So he says, don't focus on them, but listen to their preaching and teaching. It seems to me that this is important for us today in our world where there is no shortage of bad examples. And so we need salvation. We need to be healed of our blindness by the Master himself, so that we can scrutinize, so that we can see the truth, even when we're hearing a lie, right? You have one Master, and that is the Christ. And so, yes, we have great teachers, but we also have bad ones, but the ultimate teacher is always the Christ. And when there's a bad teaching, we always measure it against the words of the Christ, the Anointed One, the words of the church, the teaching of the church. That is the objective measure, right? It's not the fallible human being that we're following. And the reminder of the scrutinies is that we must be rooted in Jesus Christ. You have but one master and one teacher. And so may today's Eucharist help us to scrutinize, filter, and purify our faith during this Lenten season. And we can do this through the process of lifelong, continual conversion in our lives through Jesus Christ.